Hello everyone, today's poem is Qi Feng Bigou, a Qi wind from the Book of Songs. Apparently this poem looks like an ordinary, normal praising poem talking about the magnificent Lord, the glory princess, like many poems in the Book of Songs. While with my further analysis, dig into the poems, this poem very likely shows the philosophy of that time, the philosophy of the Lord. It also shows a strong signal that the Lord of Qi want to overthrow the Zhou dynasty, to become the king of the whole country. So in general speaking, the Lord was under the king, and the king was so called as the son of the heaven. In Chinese, 天子, the son of heaven. So in general, only the king has the access to the heaven, and he hears the order from the heaven by which he can rule the whole country. And the lord of the state have the access to the king. He cannot go to the heaven directly, so he has the order from the king. In this way, the whole country was managed. Of course, the state was also managed by the ruling of the king and the lord of the states together. So that's the way. So basically, the Lord could never go to the heaven. So keep this philosophy in mind when we go through this poem. The title of this poem, 闭狗, means a raw, humble fishing basket. So this fishing basket was put in the water of lake, of a river, to capture the fishes. So it's a tool of kill, just like the scepter for a king. So what makes the king powerful? The scepter. So the fishing basket here strong implies the power to kill, so which is the basic fundamental power of a ruler. Okay, let's go through the first paragraph. 闭狗在梁，其余房关. My fishing basket was in the river, and the fish was the Fang fish and Guan fish. So the last two characters refers to types of fish. 其子归止，其从如云. The princess of the Qi state is coming back home, and the followers just like the clouds. So very simple poem. Apparently looks like nothing expressed, but let's have a second thought. So what does the fishing basket refer to? The ruler, the princess, very likely, right? And what's the fishes mean? The people, the public, right? So that's the rulers versus the normal people. The rulers protect the people, but he has the power to kill, to rule all the people. So that's the basic politics. The second pair of sentence, 其子归止，其从如云, describe the princess is coming back home. So what does it mean? So in that time, the lord, the princess, they should always stay in their home, within their states, unless there is some of the very big deals, the wars, or make an alliance with other states, they can go out of their state. And the princess normally carry this duty, so by the order of the states. So when we see 其子归止, we know he has a big assignment, an important state affair, and now he's coming back, and it looks like a very positive and happy status. His followers is just like the cloud, so it's very positive, which means he achieved his assignment. It's a very happy and successful story, and so it's a typical praising poem, right? So far in the first paragraph, we know the emphasis or the metaphor is about the ruler and the majority of people, and he focused on the scepter, on the fishing basket. The ruler is so powerful, everybody is under his ruling, and everybody should listen to the ruler carefully, obey his order. And the second part of the first paragraph is the princess is so capable. He has achieved some of the great deal for the state, for the people, and the followers is just like the cloud. So nothing special, right? Okay, let's continue. The second paragraph, almost identical to the first one. 敝狗在梁，其余房序. So the 房序 is two types of fishes, which also implies the normal people. So we can treat this sentence identical to the first paragraph. In the river, there is the fishing basket, and the basket is full of fishes captured. So it implies that the state of Qi has a strong, powerful king, and he managed all the fishes, all the people well, and the harvest is abundant. So the fishes has two meanings: the harvest, the wealth. So the Qi state is well managed by this king, right? By this state lord, and this state is a very wealthy and abundant state. Okay, let's continue. 其子归止，其从如雨. The princess of Qi is coming back home, and the followers is like the raindrops. So it describes the status is big, is grandeur, and the followers is so many. So it's all praising to the princess, and it's praising to the powerful and prosperous Qi state. So far, it's still like a quite normal poem. The first and second paragraph still is almost identical, but it changed the name of the fishes, and it's changed the last words of the paragraph. The first paragraph is the clouds. The second paragraph is the raindrops. But makes no big difference, right? Because it's the clouds and the raindrops was used to describe the prosperous and big strong troop followed the princess, right? Okay, the third paragraph. 敝狗在梁，其余委委. The human fishing basket was in the river. And the fishes are so many and one by one. Wei could be explained in two ways. It could be a long word of the tail, the fish tail. So it was also used as a measure word. So 其余尾尾 means there are so many fishes. 尾尾 means so many fishes. And it also could be referring that. So it gave you a very vivid picture when you go up to the river bund and look to the fishing basket of you, right? You can see so many fishes in and around the fishing basket. That way equals that. So it's still describing the fishes captured or is so many and the harvest is abundant. It's a very positive and wealthy feelings. Okay, the last sentence. 其子归止，其从如水. The princess of Qi is coming back home from his assignment, and his followers is just like the river. So be careful, in the classic literature, this character 水 should always be translated as river. The third paragraph is of no big difference from the first one and second paragraph. It doesn't mention the fish names, but with that. So basically the meaning doesn't change much. They all describing the captured fish are so many, abundant. And as usual, the last words was changed as well to river. So the followers is just like a river, is flowing. So it's a bit dynamic, but the meaning still don't change too much. It describes the followers of the Qi princes is so many, and the situation is very lively, positive, and so powerful. So far, this poem still looks like a very normal and ordinary simple poem, a praising poem. But if we related the last words of every paragraph, something is so interesting. In the first paragraph, the followers is the cloud. The second paragraph, the followers is the raindrops. And the third paragraph, the followers is the river. So just think about that. Where the river comes from the raindrops. Where the raindrops comes from the clouds. So it gives you a clue that the river was from the clouds. So the focal point in this poem is the fishing basket and the fishes. So what's the relationship with the fishes and the rivers? So it's a very normal words, 雨水. So it describes the relationship is vital between two things. The river to the fish is vital. Without the river, the fish would die, right? So this is one part. So in this poem, it clearly mentioned that the very original vital things for the fishes is the clouds, because now the fishes are living in the river, but the river are from the clouds. So what does clouds implies? The heaven. So that's a common sense when you're reading the classic Chinese poetry. The clouds is always related to the heaven, to the king, to the emperor. So just imagine this poem is about a state lord or the princess. So they are basically the identical, right? The princess someday will be the lord. But they compared themselves as the clouds, and it's them. They feed, they ruled the fishes, the public people, right? So that's a big deal for the Asian Chinese, a matter of life and death for Chinese, because the son of heaven, the emperor, could be only one person in the world. If the princess or the state lord of Qi claims himself as the cloud, which is identical, claim himself as the something of the heaven, that's a big deal, right? He wants to be with the power of a emperor, of a king. There never could be two kings or two emperors in the same world. So this was so-called as 僭越. So this is a serious guilty in the ancient China. The family would be killed if a family member, committed this crime. No wonder a princess of Wu state, Jizha, when he heard the songs of Qi state, his review is that the Qi state is without limitations. What does it mean? Without limitations. The heaven is the limitation. Everybody was under the heaven, but the king or the emperor, he is the son of the heaven. So if this person, this state is without limitations, which means he was equal to the heaven, or he was something like a king or emperor. So at the circumstances, there is a king already. So he wants to have the same right, which means he wants to overthrow that king, and he became the real king. So for today's people, it sounds so weird, but in the ancient China, the heaven, the earth, the definition, the concept is so clear. The son of heaven, the 天子, the concept, the philosophy is so clear to everybody. And that's if someone want to violate the throne, that's the most serious crime that could have on the earth. And in the later generations, the whole family, hundreds of people would killed if one of the family member committed this crime. So that's the most serious things for the ancient China. Let me make maybe an inappropriate comparison. Let's see, we are in a place with a religion. Everybody believes that religion. So that religion has a God. And one day you claim yourself that I'm with the same level of the God. So just imagine what other people would think about you. Or could you still be alive animal. So that's the same situation. So everybody is so sensitive, and everybody is so keen to that philosophy or concept. So that's why this poem use such an obscure wording and structure to express such a sensitive subject. The subject is I am with the level of the heaven, and I am the scepter. I'm the fishing basket. You are the fish in my fishing basket. Your life are within my hand, and I am the clouds, and I make the river where you live. So I feed you, the fishes, the people. So that's the real meaning that this poem expressed. What do you think? Okay, that's for today. Bye bye.